Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2012, and this is the Pastel Pony Podcast. I'm your host, Vos de Sueños. Prepare yourself, Colts and Phillies. Today is epic podcast time. Why? Because we got hate bacon strips, hate bacon strips, hate bacon strips. Why? The real reason? Because this is epic podcast time. Y'all should see the extraordinarily large amount of stuff that I have for you today. If you're looking at the time index, I'm sure it's pretty long. I do not look forward to editing this, but that's what I do. So, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'm not even sure where to start, to be honest with you guys. I guess I'll just start going down the line. First off, I've been talking to some bronies, and I saw that a lot of things happened at Ponycon this past weekend. So jealous. So jealous. I love conventions. I've been to quite a few anime cons in my time, and I love seeing voice actors talk about their work. I watched the entire hour-long video of Celestia, Pinky, and AJ talking. I remember Ashley Ball's name, but I honestly can't remember the other two at the moment. Either way, it struck me as very strange that Princess Celestia is Canadian. I completely would not have guessed that from her voice acting. So, well done. Andrea Lieberman, that's one of the other ones. That's Pinky. So, that being said, Nicole Oliver, that's Celestia, yes. But anyways, she hides it very well, but she occasionally says oot instead of out, as Americans would say. Yes. Oh my Celestia, I see the next thing on my list already. So, Sir Ginger, I don't know if you listen to the podcast, but you might, since today is the release of the next set of So Long recordings. I want you to know that I don't blame you, but Pinkie Pie's polka may never leave my head again. And those of you who have listened to this after So Long will know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, or those of you who haven't, you have something fun to look forward to. It will never leave your head ever again. I also saw another one of those touching videos called Make It Happen, which was really, really cool. I love seeing videos like this. I love seeing videos that show somebody's story or what our community is doing, because there's got to be good press out there. There's so many people who are up in arms about just us in general. What you doing, hater? I'm watching ponies. Got a problem with that? Have a cupcake and some tolerance. As you can tell, one of the videos this week is Epic Pie Time, because Vos loves Epic Meal Time, and the people doing Epic Cupcake Time and such are kind of fantastic, and yes. But anyways, back to Make It Happen. That was the video that I saw, and I also saw something else on Facebook, but I don't think I can link that one because it's just on Facebook, and I don't know how to get to it. But anyways, it was a girl talking about how it's changed her life. And honestly, everybody has a story about how it's changed their life. Most of the people in the community don't just watch it. And those that do, don't do that for very long. They eventually become part of the community like all of us have. And that's just, it's so nice to see all the positive and good that this fan base has done for people. Next, I wanted to talk about something awesome and also something vaguely depressing for you poor folks in the audience. I'm gonna need a hiatus, but I don't know when yet. And the thing is, it's not because I need a break, although I do. It's mostly because I am working on a secret project, which I'm going to announce here in a few minutes, that is going to require an extraordinary amount of additional editing time than my episodes normally do. So, what is this mysterious secret project that I've been talking about for 2 or 3 weeks now? I have taken it upon myself to get a transcript of the original 1938 broadcast of War of the Worlds and make it pony, and then I'm going to record the entire thing and add sound effects and music. That's right. I may not even be the only voice. I probably won't. I'm going to try not to be. But I know that it will be a a minimum of an hour and a half recording, because that's what the original is. And I've added some things. And it's gonna be long. Real long. And with all those additional fancy voice boppers and musical accompaniment and such, it's gonna take a lot longer to edit, because it's not just take out the white noise, take out the spaces and pauses and the bad lines and all that stuff. It's gonna be actually a lot more involved. So the week or two after I record that, there won't be any episodes, although there may be podcasts, depending on what things are like in the community. As you see right now, I have a huge podcast. It's already 6 minutes, and I'm less than halfway through the stuff I wanted to talk about. Now that the secret project is announced, and I apologize profusely for the 2 weeks off I'm probably going to take to get that thing ready. Whenever it happens, I will give you advance notice. I promise. I'll give you at least a week or two in advance and tell you from X time to B time. I don't know why it's X and B. You choose. From X time to B time, I will not be recording. And there will be no new episodes. But I'll be back on XB Day, and I will have this giant episode for you. So, fun stuff. If you have any interest, I don't really need any more pre-readers or editors, but if you'd like to see it, I'm going to post it in the comments, because we've gone through what I believe is the 3rd or 4th round of editing now, as of earlier today, and it's almost to the point where I'm ready to start recording, but we'll see. Either way, the next thing is I announced Contest 2 last week, and I think I'm going to extend the contest by a week. So you have 2 more weeks to vote and such. The entries thus far are 6 Angry Mares, Carrot Top's Lament, She Will Be Loved, and Today, Tomorrow, and Forever. Now, those all have 1 vote apiece, and if I've forgotten any, please let me know. I apologize. But those are the 4 that have been recommended so far. If you like any of those, or if you don't know anything about them and want to read them, go read them and then vote. Because I don't have the time to read all of them and cast my own vote, and that would be cheating anyways, right? I already record the things that I want to record. This is about the community. Ah! Involvement! Ah! Speaking of involvement, Command Spry told me, or actually showed me, how to use the analytics tool, which is really, really cool, because now, those of you who are lurking, I can see where you are. I can see that I have fans in Ireland. I have fans from 18 to 65, which is impressive. I'm not sure who you are that subscribes to me that's 65, but there's at least 2 of you, and that's awesome. Thank you for watching. I'm thinking that maybe you watch because it's good to show people, small children, for sleepy times? I don't know. Maybe you just really like ponies like we do. Doesn't matter. But cool stuff. Thank you all for watching. I like seeing where you're from and learning about you and such. And speaking of learning about you and such, I actually got a fair response when I asked for friendship reports. Now, originally, I had expected the letters to start Dear Princess Celestia. 2 of them started Dear Vos, and 1 of them started Dear Prince Vos, which was kind of... I'm not a prince, even though I pretend to be sometimes, because I am Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. But you know that. So, and actually, I don't know where that one that started Dear Prince Vos is. If I miss it, you gotta tell me, sir or madam. But I've got 3 separate people, and I'm going to skip the one from Derpy Hooves because it was only like a line and it wasn't intended to be taken seriously. But the first one is from Zach. Also, when you guys write these to me, I will use only your first name if you send them to my email. If you don't want me using your first name, you have to put it in the email.
Hello there. This is Pipsqueak here. I hope you're doing well and having a smashing new year, because I learnt myself a lesson and I wanted to tell you. First though, are you having a good time? Did you have a good Hearthwarming's Eve? I sure hope so, because I did too. I haven't had too many Hearthwarming's Eves in my life back home in Trottingham, and my first one in Ponyville. But I do know one thing by now, that it doesn't matter how many presents you get, it's what's inside them that counts. I didn't get a lot of presents this year, but they were all things I wanted, and I was still just as happy as I was any other Hearthwarming Eve. I got a lot of presents in the past, and I always loved them, but it really doesn't matter how many you can or can't get, because if you love some pony very much, you shouldn't shower them with gifts. Instead, you should find them something they really, really want. If you can't do that, then get the second thing that they really, really want. I got my mum the only thing she wanted this year, and she was really happy, even if I wasn't able to get her the 3 or 4 other things like the rest of my family did. I hope you got what you wanted too. Yours sincerely, Pipsqueak.
That was awesome. I didn't even think of one coming from Pipsqueak, so thank you for that. And to answer your question, I did have an awesome Hearthwarming Eve. Hearthwarming Eve. Thank you. Thank you for writing. Now we have one from James Cork, which, by the way, shout out to him because he did probably the most extensive edit I've ever seen for an equestrian invasion, which, by the way, is the title of the War of the Worlds thing. So, thank you, James, for that, and thank you for this. I need a voice for her. James, I talk to you through the microphone. I know you can hear me. I've been trying very hard to find a voice for Octavia, so this is by no means the finalized voice, because that's right, you guys get strange sounds from me. That's what happens. Today, I learned a very important lesson about friendship. As I tried to write down the last part of my symphony, I had several of my colleagues come at me with inquiries. I attended them and couldn't finish my composition. I had to spend the entire night working on it, and the next day my performance at the Canterlot Garden Party seemed slightly off-key. When my colleagues came at me again, I got angry at them, even if they did nothing wrong. I felt really bad, as I blamed them for my mistakes during my performance. But I realized that it wasn't their fault. I discovered that it is impossible to attend to every pony, and if you try to do something, you will end up hurting them and yourself. A true friend, or a work colleague, will know to wait if you tell them you are busy, and one should know better when taking too much work is way too much for them. Learning how to handle the workload is a big thing, especially when I have 3 concerts and an album collaboration with renowned DJ Vinyl Scratch. Your faithful listener, Octavia von Cleff. So, that was my very first attempt at trying to find a voice for Octavia. We'll see where that goes. But, awesome letter. Awesome letter. And very true, because I often need to not do all of the things that I do. I really need to tone down how much I do. It's ridiculous. Finally, our last 2 come from Mr. E380. Dear Vos, lately on MLR you've been talking about these friendship reports. I let them slide, but then I thought to myself, what harm can they do? I just tell you a little something that happened in my life. Now I'm not going to send you these every day, or once a week for that matter, but I had to talk to my other friends in the herd about the idea, and they agreed on it. So, I would like to thank you, Vos, for the idea, and thanks for keeping my head in check. Here's the story. When you're surrounded by friends, don't be shy like I am, if you believe that or not. You need to be open. Everyone might seem strange, but they're only strange because you say that they're strange. Everyone is strange in someone else's eye, but when you are loved by others, there is no need to hide who you are. Nothing good will ever come out of that. Be who you are, and be with the people you love. Shadow. And the second one is, Dear Vos, I might start writing this to some other pony, because if I send them to you all day, I will feel like Twilight, and we all read her jokes. It's never pretty. But today, I learned that it's best to do nothing. If someone has a bad aura, or does not like themselves, give them time, and when the moment is right, then you can talk to them if they still act different. But most of the time, they just want to be left alone. And if you didn't leave them alone, then you might lose a childhood friend. Your friend, Shadow, and R.I.P. Knife. So, those are friendship reports. If you guys like them, let me know. We'll do more. If you don't like them, also let me know, and we won't do more. Voting! Voting and participation. Ha ha ha. I'm drawing you lurkers out of the shadows. Or trying, anyhow. Nikki says arr, 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 and that is dog speak for come out of the shadows, lurkers. So, before I get to media and the new episode, the next thing I wanted to talk about was Ben got retired. I think I mentioned this, but Ben leveled a city in 10 seconds flat and then started a tower academy on the moon. As a result, Ben became far too powerful for the scope of the campaign and had to be retired. Originally, I thought, I need to replace this character with a much more tame one that can be easier for the GM to deal with. And I tried. I really did. Making a level 16 character takes a long time. It takes about an hour and a half for someone who's been playing for almost 7 years. So, I made this character, and I introduced this character. He was a knight, without any spellcrafting, and was lawful good, and, honestly, I tried. I tried so hard to make it easy for the characters. But they're evil. They're evil, and they're crazy, and they're chaotic. And I couldn't. And so I said, screw it. And I made a gypsy. Based on Pinkie Pie from Friendship is Witchcraft. That's right.
All you have to do is take a cup of flour, add it to the mix.
Her name is Ariana. She's a gypsy witch. And she worships Pinkie Pie. Yes, I did that. I'm strange. So, for the daily moment of ridiculous, we have Barry's drinking telegram. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do with this. Just watch it. If you're, over like 15. I don't know. For videos, I have the Make It Happen video that I was talking about earlier, and I also have the Manliest Brony, which is a parody of the Dos Equis guy. Oh, fantastic. I'm not even going to spoil anything about that. Music-wise, a crazy brony going by the name of Psychosis released a 20-minute album called Discord Days, which is a bunch of the MLP songs mashed up with every single track from Demon Days, the Gorillaz album. I loved it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. For the review, I've actually gotten back to reading some. I've been trying very hard to force myself to read as I close my eyes and half pass out. But I have so much to read. I read Allegraza because that updated with 15 and 16 and continues to wow me with just how amazing the story is and how it always manages to put a smile on my face. Next is Not Worth One Bit, which was really strange. It was a one-shot about 4 or 5 pages long about Octavia, and it seemed like a form of catharsis for the author because it was just sort of like that feeling that we all seem to get from time to time, which is feeling almost completely worthless. And then someone manages to pull us out of it. Interestingly enough, for Octavia, it was Prince Blueblood, which is kind of weird, and then spoilers. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. So, weird things happen. There's no actual shipping, but it's just very strange. But I liked the way that it was done. It was very somber, but it was good. My Little Time Lord has updated twice. Project Horizons has updated numerous times, which is fantastic, but it's updating faster than I can keep up with it. Somber is prolific, people. Somber writes a lot. Now, Vos read lots of other things, including Before Dusk, I think it's called. And Much a Hoof About Nothing. And then I have literally 10 tabs open for things that I'm wanting to read before this podcast, but it didn't happen. So, Next week, Past Sins 9. Stories I'd like to see written. Yeah, you know, I don't have much. There's so much going on that I don't even think about it now. Shoutouts. Ooh, shoutouts. Important things. One of the subscribers, Jackson Nichols, has asked me to promote something for y'all. I don't know, because I don't remember looking at the analytics too carefully. But I know that I've got at least some bronies in Aussie land. You people, you bronies in Australia, they're working on getting a con up and running. Because obviously it would be infeasible for most of you, or any of you, to come here to go to the New York con. So, Ponycon AU, they've got a website, or at least a Facebook page, and a YouTube page, and they're getting stuff ready. If you want to help, visit them. Even if you don't want to help, visit them. If you're indifferent, or live in another part of the world, still visit them, because they're awesome. And they could always use more people to build hype. So, if you know people in Australia, or if you are in Australia, do it. Take a look at it. Cool stuff. Oh, here we go. So, this week's episode, spoilers, people. The only thing that I have written down here for myself before the chat log is this week's episode. What? Because just there's so much craziness, and I have no idea what to even to say, because it was really cool to see so much history for Ponyville, but I don't know what happened, and Equestria is so dangerous. So dangerous. Why are there so many dangerous creatures? Some brony said it was probably a result of the untamed magic infecting creatures of the land, because it's still a relatively new civilization. Alright, I accept that. But I demand demon butterflies sometime in the future. What with the timber wolves and moray eels and the zap apples and the... That's right, they're sentient now. They are going to eat you in your sleep. And... hey, bacon strips. Yeah, epic cupcake time. So, that was a completely incoherent mess of thoughts, but more or less well describes that episode. I loved the puppet thing. I loved the zap apples. You'll hear one of my quotes later on in the chat log for exactly what I thought of them. And Granny Smith being a soldier and also telling stories, kind of fantastic. Because there's... what I do is I watch the episode and grab the chat log the first time if I'm home, and I actually watch it the second time right afterwards. And I will occasionally pay attention to the chat log the second time around, and there's some fun stuff that people missed the first time around that got mentioned in the later chat logs that I won't have. So, unfortunate, but it happens. Without further ado, let's begin. Madness! This is strawberry shortcake! Little berry thing. No! It burns us. Fluttershy's shed.
Hey. You don't want to know what happened to the nice pony in Fluttershy's shed. It wasn't pretty. All those trolls were in Fluttershy's shed.
You trolled my anus, Hax. Hax. You're buy some apples. Kidding me. Hax Mega is best troll. What happened? Everyone panic! Derpy, stop playing with the wires. Me want ponies. Everyone abandon ship. Every pony abandoned ship. Every pony abandoned ship. None of the other streams are working. This is the worst possible thing. SyncTube crashed. It's still offline. Riot! Gypsy magic! Darn tootin'. Panic over. There's a broom. A witch's broom. Epic broom. You're a wizard. Gypsy magic? Oh, the magic. Are you a wizard, Applejack? Filthy rich? It's Mitt Romney! Damn you, Diamond Tiara. Soup's on. I love that she can control the ears. Punch. Buck those rich folks. Head boom. Giant hat, activate. Yeah. Doctor! Doctor Oozes! At this point, they just throw him anytime they need to kill dead space. Bee-beard! Oh god, bees! Bees! Beep. Hello, young sluts. For once, there's bees and they're not attacking Twilight. That's not science! Lol, capitalists. Marketing is so exciting, kids! Filthy rich. Classy. Same formula on the board. They still have some astrophysics thing on the board. Trollololo. She might die or something. Scootaloo's family? Sorry about the packets at the very beginning, guys. That's... something happened with the filter. That's right. Out of character for a second. When we were watching on Hax Mega's stream, we had missed the first 2 or so minutes because it died on us. Back to game.
Dumb packets.
We need some gyro bowl to cheer us up. Lol. American adverts are weird. Is it weird for an American to hate being an American? Cupcakes! $19.99? The value will grow. The cookies have been doubled! Shit just got evil. Holy Jesus! What the fuck? Witchcraft! He didn't say yep. I wish I could have a Zap Apple. Dictionary again. Eat that hoof. What are you, a Sweetie Belle? Why, you know, Sweetie Bot. Granny Apple is a soldier. That jar's a war crime. Everything's a war crime. Dab voice crack. Sweetie Squeak. Granny can't be fooled. She pulled that shit decades ago. What the buck are they thinking? Rejected. Doom. Real lightning. Sweetie Bot's servos have been fried. Ponies like apples. Apple trees are magic. Mortar. She's dead. Win. Seems legit. Looks totally real. She's not dead, just old as beep. Apple Bloom killed her. For a teacher, Cheryl Lee is pretty dumb. Invisible strings. Fail, fail, fail. Haha, window shopping for what?
Are you a spy?
Ropes don't work that way. God damn it, Cheryl Lee, stop being the straight pony. I am a flying pony. Please ignore the rope. Rainbow! Rainbow apples! Okay, they seem like a bad thing to eat. Holy fuck, rainbow apples! Rainbow Dash would be so proud! Aurora Rainbow Alice. Chickens deliver letters. Quirties over Flibberty Gibber. Shame. Like a bouse. La 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 la. Apple Bloom just got trolled. Dropkicker. Swear, I came this close to choking on Dr. Pepper during that rainbow apple scene. Ads. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Gyro Bowl. Calling it right now. Diamond Tiara's fault. www.nope.com. Learning on the internet. Help your child get head? What the f... Fluttershy used electroshock on Sweetie Belle. Snuggle. Dental plan. Pedo Bear is back. Kill him with fire. Man, this bear is creepy. Fire! More fire! We need Lauren Faust back. Don't worry. Even we think our commercials are beep. There's a pony for everything. I want my iPony. iPony greater than iPhone. Oh god. But this can only end. Oh god, a map! Map! We have a map! The map is upside down! Pony map of Skyrim! Back in Nam. Granny Smith? Young? No way. Phyllis Smith. Pony history is screwed up. She's hotter than Applejack. Canterlot is a royal kingdom. Molestia! Celestia eats souls. Celestia X Smith. Oh god. Beats Discord, turns immortal. Banish her mortality to the moon! That's when Pa hit me with an apple. Hunting. I see so many. In Before Story of the Blanks. There is a predator. Wolves? Shadowbolt! Warwick's passive. And then it happened. And that's how I got my cutie mark. Discord's army. Oh my fucking god, new monsters! What is this, D&D? Dear Celestia, today I learned that this kingdom is the most dangerous in existence. I bet when the flashback ends, all of the students will be asleep or dead. It's what happens when a land is infused with magic. Shit happens. Magic is as magic does. Oh god, a rainbow cupcake! No! Apple Bloom episode? No. Granny Smith episode. Did she just say buck stinking rich? This is amazing. Epic story. Oh my god, freaking win. Clop, 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 clop. Clop, 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 clop. Revenge! She created Ponyville. Ponyville, what? And you're a tiny little slut. Oh, you did not just insult my grandma. I bet the chalk is good. Taste the rainbow. I want that jam. Cutie mark is apple skittles. Lol, rainbow cupcakes. Dear Princess Celestia, I wasn't in this episode, so I didn't learn anything. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Epic cupcakes need rainbow jam for frosting. Replay, we must see the beginning. Yay, more pony. Chat log done. Bo says sleepy time. That's going to take a bit to edit, so, you know, stuff. But that's words. Yes, words. Look at that epic time. Look at that epic time. Over 30 minutes. Hey, bacon strips.
This is Vostay Sweeney signing off. Safe travels, everybody.